Chapter 1: The Arrival. As I step through the heavy, clanging doors of the maximum security prison, a chill runs down my spine. My name is James, and this is my first taste of incarceration. The oppressive environment is a world away from the freedom I've always known. The stark fluorescent lights flicker above, illuminating the faces of hardened inmates, each one carrying their own burden of stories. My heart races as I navigate the sea of unfamiliarity, absorbing the echoes of shouts and the distant sound of metal scraping against metal. Fear grips me tightly. I feel like a fish out of water, terrified and alone. This is a place where survival becomes instinct. Will I find a way to make it through? As I struggle to hold on to hope amidst uncertainty, each new encounter offers a glimpse into the myriad of lives intertwined behind these bars, a silent reminder that I am not the only one wrestling with fear and despair. Chapter 2: Brotherhood and Betrayal. In her diary, Maria chronicles the treacherous landscape of friendships forged in the harsh environment of the prison. Amid the sterile walls and ominous shadows, she finds solace in the close-knit bonds with fellow inmates, who share tales of survival and pain. Together, they navigate the challenges of daily life, forming a sisterhood that feels unbreakable at first. Maria highlights the warmth of late-night conversations and whispered secrets, where laughter briefly drowns out fear. Yet this camaraderie is tested when betrayal looms, as trust becomes a dangerous commodity. Maria's entries reveal the gut-wrenching heartbreak when a friend turns informant, leading to devastating repercussions. The stark contrast between loyalty and treachery unravels before her eyes, forcing Maria to confront her vulnerability. Empowered by these experiences, she vows to protect her heart, while determining to rise above the chaos that surrounds her, embodying resilience in an unforgiving world. Chapter 3: Reflections in Solitude. Sam's diary opens with the sound of silence. As the heavy metal door closes behind him, he reflects on the weight of his solitude in a small, stark cell. With years behind bars, he has succumbed to the reality of his life sentence, but each day brings the persistent echoes of his past decisions. He writes about the haunting moments in solitary confinement, a space where time stretches and self-doubt intensifies. As he contemplates his choices, memories flood him, laughter from friends, family dinners left untouched, and dreams now derailed. Yet in this stillness, Sam confronts his demons, wrestling with guilt and longing for redemption. He finds clarity in writing, a cathartic release that slowly transforms his regret into a pathway for understanding himself. In solitude, he notes, I've discovered both my heart's darkest corners and the flickers of hope that can still light the way. Chapter 4: The Search for Redemption. In her diary, Lena articulates the painful journey from a life of gang involvement to a desperate search for redemption. Life behind bars has transformed her perspective, compelling her to confront the destructive choices that once defined her. With a fierce determination, she immerses herself in rehabilitation programs, seeking to redefine her identity beyond the walls of the prison. Each entry is filled with hope, revealing her aspirations to reconnect with her estranged family and earn their forgiveness. Through writing, Lena shares her struggles with self-doubt and the haunting memories of a life left behind, unveiling her vulnerability. As she takes part in group therapy and educational classes, she begins to piece together a path toward personal growth. Her journey is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, illustrating that even in the darkest corners of confinement, the pursuit of change and reconciliation is possible.
Chapter 5.
David, a passionate artist serving a lengthy sentence, uses his creativity as a lifeline within the oppressive walls of prison. Through his diary entries, he chronicles nights spent in his small cell, sketching vivid images that transport him to a world beyond bars. Each stroke of his paintbrush becomes a whisper of hope, reflecting dreams of freedom and the life he yearns to reclaim. Despite the hardships, he finds solace in the camaraderie of fellow inmates who share his love for art, organizing an exhibit to showcase their work. As David prepares for the event, he grapples with the emotional weight of his confinement, yearning to express not only beauty but the pain of his reality. The exhibit becomes a pivotal moment of connection and self-expression, illuminating the power of art to inspire change and give voice to the voiceless. David's entries reveal the resilience of the human spirit, even in the darkest of places. Chapter 6: The Outside Influence. As I hold the worn paper in my hands, my heart races with every stroke of my pen. I am Elena, the daughter of an inmate, and these letters to my father are my lifeline. Each word I write is a bridge spanning the chasm between us, offering glimpses of life outside the prison walls. I share the mundane moments of my days, school events, friends' birthdays, and quiet evenings at home, while trying to mask the ache of his absence. In my mind, I replay visits, the glass separating us, his hands pressed against the cool surface, whispering words of love and encouragement. I long for the day we'll embrace again, but the reality of his incarceration weighs heavily on my family. Yet, through the pain, I find resilience. My letters are not just reminders of separation, they are declarations of hope, binding us as we navigate our shared struggles, always striving for connection. Chapter 7: The Aftermath of Crime. In this chapter we meet Victor, a violent offender serving a lengthy sentence for his past actions. Victor opens his diary with a raw and unfiltered account of the life choices that led him to prison, a turbulent youth plagued by poverty, gang involvement, and a desperate need for acceptance. As he documents his days behind bars, he reflects on the moments of infamy, grappling with feelings of shame and regret. Victor's writings reveal his desire for redemption, illuminating his struggles to confront the demons that haunt him. He shares poignant stories of fellow inmates who inspire him, including those who have found their paths to rehabilitation. In quieter moments, as he relives the violence of his past, Victor yearns for forgiveness, both from his victims and himself. Through his journey of introspection, listeners gain insight into the complex emotions and consequences faced by those in the aftermath of their crimes, laying the foundation for potential transformation. Chapter 8: The Role of Mentorship. In this chapter, we dive into the life of Frank, a seasoned inmate who has transformed his time behind bars into an opportunity to give back. Once a troubled youth himself, Frank now takes on the role of a mentor for younger inmates, offering guidance and support to those navigating the turbulent waters of prison life. Through his diary entries, we hear about the heartfelt conversations and lessons he imparts, emphasizing the power of resilience and responsibility. Frank reflects on the moments when he, too, needed guidance, and his determination to break the cycle of violence and poor choices becomes a beacon of hope for his mentees. He speaks of their struggles, dreams, and the impact mentorship has on fostering trust and camaraderie among inmates. This chapter highlights the profound changes that can occur when individuals invest in each other, illuminating the path toward personal growth and rehabilitation within the prison environment. Chapter 9: Family Ties Behind Bars. As I sit on the edge of my small cot, the reality of my circumstances washes over me. I'm Rachel, a mother separated from my children by these unforgiving prison walls. The ache of missing their laughter fills the empty space in my heart. My diary pages are filled with letters to them, words that reach beyond concrete and steel, hoping to bridge the distance. Each visit, filled with smiles and tearful embraces, is a bittersweet reminder of our bond. Being a mother in here is a constant battle. I often reflect on the programs that teach us how to parent from afar, crafting artwork I can send home, learning skills that might help strengthen our family ties. I hold on to the dream of reuniting with my kids, knowing that my love can transcend my mistakes. This journey may be fraught with challenges, but the hope of being a better mother fuels my transformation. Chapter 10: Fears of Release. As the date of release draws near, Jessica, a long-term inmate, grapples with an unsettling mix of anxiety and anticipation. Her diary entries reflect the weight of uncertainty as she navigates the complex emotions tied to leaving the only environment she has known for years. Freedom, once a cherished dream, now looms large with potential pitfalls. She writes of her fears, how she might struggle to reconnect with family, find a job, and resist the temptations that once consumed her life. Conversations with fellow inmates reveal shared worries. Some fear reverting to old habits, while others dread facing societal judgments. Amidst these doubts, Jessica also contemplates hope, envisioning a new chapter where she can redefine herself outside prison walls. Her reflections encapsulate the delicate balance between fear and aspiration, highlighting the struggles many inmates face as they prepare to reclaim their lives and navigate the daunting and unpredictable road to reintegration. Chapter 11. The Healing Power of Forgiveness. Tom, a middle-aged inmate serving a lengthy sentence for a violent crime, reflects on the transformative journey he has undergone while incarcerated. In his diary entries, he shares his struggles with guilt and the burden of having hurt others. Through participation in restorative justice programs, Tom discovers the profound impact of forgiveness, not only for those he has wronged, but also for himself. He recounts the emotional weight that lifted as he faced the families of his victims, listening to their stories of pain and loss. These exchanges lead him to confront his own demons, fostering a deep sense of empathy and a desire for redemption. As he writes, Tom explores the delicate balance between seeking forgiveness and understanding that healing is a two-way street. He emerges from this process not just as a person bound by his past, but as someone eager to forge a new path illuminated by compassion and hope. Chapter 12. The Weight of Labels. Every morning I look in the mirror and see more than just my reflection. I see the weight of the labels that the world has placed on me. Felon, addict, failure. Those words cling to my skin like a second layer, reminding me of the choices that led me here. My diary is a sanctuary where I peel back these layers, exploring the chasm between who I was and who I aspire to be. In discussions with my fellow inmates, I hear shared stories, a chorus of broken dreams and shattered identities. Yet within this dark space, we find light. We become determined to redefine ourselves beyond our pasts. Through education and self-exploration, I strive to rediscover my worth, whether it's through creative writing or simply helping others reclaim their narratives. I refuse to let society's labels define me. Every day is an opportunity to rewrite my story. Chapter 13. The Role of Education. An inmate whose circumstances once led him to a life of crime uncovers a profound passion for learning during his time in prison. As he reflects on his journey through education, he shares how participating in GED classes ignited a spark of hope he hadn't felt in years. Surrounded by fellow inmates, each with their own dreams, Jason starts to envision a future beyond the prison walls. He writes about long nights spent studying in the dim light of his cell, the thrill of mastering complex subjects, and the camaraderie built through shared goals. Education becomes his lifeline, a tool to reshape his identity and challenge the stigma of being a felon. Through uplifting anecdotes, Jason illustrates how knowledge empowers him, not just to earn a diploma, but to reclaim his narrative and forge a path toward a brighter, more meaningful life upon release.